your boss's article he has written, or whatever you are doing, and you want to make comments on what you maybe would like to change, then you will use the track changes. So basically what track changes does is, let's say I've received this document, this Word document, and let's say the website of virtual keyboards found on the free dictionary have asked me just to scan through this. Then I will have to go and see, okay, using the word users instead of people is more accurate. Okay, so then I would change that. I would say, okay, let's change using the word users instead of people. Okay, I am going to accept that. Okay, so I'm going to accept and move to the next. Can you see then how all the other comes up? So they tell me what do they actually prefer, or what do they suggest? They suggest that I need to make the heading one English South Africa, and I kind of feel like, you know what, I'm going to keep it at ease, so I'm going to say I'm going to reject only that one. And so you can run through all of your comments, and you can actually even decide to delete one completely by right clicking on it and just um actually saying that you want to, I don't know why it's not giving me the option. Oh, there it is. Delete the option. Okay, delete comment, and then you can just delete. Okay, so that's basically the function of how to accept and how to reject. And let's say you don't see your comments. Okay, let's say you are actually in your document and you can't see it, then you must just make sure that the show comment button is on. Okay, so then you will see the comments on the side. Just remember, when you print something like this, then it will print your comments as well. So if you don't want to see it, you'll have to remove that. Okay, then the next thing I want you to quickly look at that's applicable to your curriculum is to actually insert a new comment. So let's say we want to say that we feel like this picture's resolution is not good, so we're going to click on the picture. So you always click on what you want to change. If it's a word, you click on it, and then you actually want to say, okay, you want to put in a new comment. Can you see my name comes up there? That is correct. That should be like that. If I am the author of the document, now where do you find that? Under info, you will see that you can actually change the author there. But at the moment, this is my laptop, so the keyboard sees me as the author. Okay, in the exam, it can either be your ID number maybe, or if you logged in, but normally your name will appear there if it is then connected to your name and surname. Then I can say consider, so you just literally start typing, consider a different picture. Okay, so you just put in whatever you want to say there, and then your comment will obviously stay. Okay, so that's basically your review pane with regards to inserting comments, accepting, rejecting, and doing your track changes, deleting one, putting a new one in. And then obviously you've got your spelling and grammar that you can just check and say, okay, that's fine, ignore. Or you can just actually say you want to put your language on a set proving language of English South African, and you can say, okay, and then you can carry on like that as well. Okay, that's just an extra. And then the next thing that's kind of new in your curriculum is your references. Okay? Your references is basically what happens in any student life if you have ever done any type of form of assignment, you would have come across a bibliography or references. Okay, so let me just quickly explain to you the difference between all of these things. So open up your ribbon and see that you find the table of contents. So I'm going to explain from left all the way to right. So table of contents is basically what we use in the beginning of our let's say textbook, or let's say we are creating a big assignment and we've got a couple of sections in there, then we will use the table of content. Okay, the add text and the update table is obviously also referring to the table of contents. In Computer N6, I don't think we really work with the table of contents, so just take note of that. Your footnote has come from previous years. We can just quickly revise that. When you insert a footnote, you can maybe say you want to put a footnote there on virtual keyboard. You're going to highlight the word, you're going to say insert footnote, and it's going to say there, let's say ergonomically acceptable, for instance. You are actually saying something more about the virtual keyboard. And then you can actually also remember that setting in Word gives you the option to go and say, I actually don't want that to be a number one. I want that to say A. Okay. And you can just say apply and it will change to A. Okay. So that's basically your footnotes and how to apply that. Then the next part, and this is where we come to the referencing part when I spoke about bibliography, is remember when you do an assignment, you always have to do your own work, but sometimes you need to make use of research. Actually, most of the time, most people's PhDs and masters and doctorates and whatever they are doing are based on research. They're based on not necessarily new things that they have found out, but things that's already been researched before. So when you do that, you can't just make as if it's your own. So by referencing that person's work, you are actually acknowledging them and saying, listen, this is not my own work. I've used it in my research, but there was something or somebody before me that did the work. Okay. So I am actually kind of um, using them, I'm quoting them. Okay. So then you put in your references. Now, what is all of this? A citation is something that you would use in your document. So let's say you've used a book. Okay, you've used a book or an electronic source, or there's lots of things you could use. Then you would say you're going to add a new source. Okay, so when you have to add a new source, you're going to choose which one. Is it going to be a conference proceeding? Is it going to be a report? That will be specified for you, okay, in an exam. If it's not an exam and you're doing your own assignment, you'll have to go and see, did I use a book, a hard copy? Did I use a journal article? Was it part of a journal? Was it on a website? What did I do? So you will choose the correct one over here. Okay, let's say this it's a book. You're going to choose the author, okay, and look there by tag. It actually gives you the example. But what I like to do is I like to go to the edit, and then when I have the last name, let's say the last name was Grootboom and his first name was Glonelo. Then can you see if I add it, I don't have to worry about where the commas and everything is. Can you see it's already edited in the correct way? Okay, just take note, a corporate author would be something like BBC or a company that maybe have published that. So it's not one specific person, it was more than one. So they publish it under, let's say, SABC or that WCD or like an organization. Okay. Then what was the title? Let's say the title of the book was Ergonomics, Ergonomics in the Office. Okay, I'm just making these things up. And then the year that it was published, let's say it was 2012. So you're literally just going to type that in. Let's say the city was London, and let's say the publisher was Pearson's. I'm not even sure if Pearson's is in the UK, but nevertheless, this is how you're going to fill it in. Okay. And then you're just going to say, okay. Then your citation is now saved. So when you quote that specific book, let's say we've done this and we actually found it from that book. Behind that or after that paragraph, I'm going to put my cursor there and I'm going to say, I want to actually insert this caption. Now, can you see when I click there, it comes up? Those, I've already used two of these. Okay, so you're going to click it. And do you see it only gives me the year and the surname? Okay, and then later on, I know you don't really do this, but just to show you, you can actually edit that field as well, because remember, it's like a field like you do in forms. Okay, I like to go to actually say edit the citation, and then I say, but listen, show me only the author. I don't want to see the year. Then you can actually do this as well. Okay, that's just an extra. But normally in six, they will just ask you to put in the citation, and then you literally just go and you say insert citation. But can you see I had to add the source first? Except if they have add the source, like that was already there. Okay, if it's already there, then you can just insert one of those two. But if there's nothing that appears there, you have to create it first. So that's basically your citation. Okay. Then you can also go to manage sources. Let's say there is one that's already there. Then you can go and click on it and say you want to edit it. And then you can actually go into it and edit and say, okay, sometimes they do this. They say there was a mistake and they've put, let's say,